Thank you for joining us tonight. A fresh twist to the politics of the BBI and a likely referendum to be held next year after Deputy President William Ruto announced his stand. I want us to quickly take a look at some of these demands, or a raft of demands that he's come up with in that briefing he gave some time in the afternoon, a one-hour address, and we narrow it down to 4 key demands. Deputy President William Ruto is asking for a multiple-choice referendum to prevent the rejection of good ideas, arguing that it would be unfair to narrow all the conversation and all these changes to a simple question of yes or no. He also asks that the referendum be conducted as a 7th ballot in the 2022 general election, saying it will give us more time to build consensus and save us money. And while on that note, resources earmarked for BBI-related activities to be directed to COVID mitigation measures and economic recovery of the country. 14 billion, perhaps, that the IEBC said is what would cost the country to conduct a referendum. The Deputy President and his allies say this should be redirected to COVID-19 mitigation measures. And finally, resolve all outstanding issues through consensus, i.e., or for example, judicial independence, bloated government, gender equity. Says that we have time to build consensus and we will likely achieve a win-win situation here. Our panelists will be helping us break this down tonight here on KTN Prime. Now, Deputy President Dr. William Ruto is tonight igniting a new chapter in the Building Bridges Initiative conversation. Ruto now wants the ongoing signature collection for referendum drive stopped to allow room for consensus building in what he says will avoid diving the country into a yes and no camp. At the same time, the DP and his allies say they will only participate in a referendum held alongside a 2022 general election. Our senior political affairs reporter Duncan Haemba with that headline report.
Deputy President William Ruto's Karen residence played host to members of parliament and governors allied to Tanga team as they held a consultative meeting on the BBI referendum push. When they emerged, their resolution was a big no to the current Constitutional Amendment Bill 2020. Their reason being,
we have, as a team here, agreed that we will support the proposal by CIOC in Parliament to provide a mechanism in the referendum where Kenyans can vote on issues, not just a yes-no referendum.
The country's second-in-command insists there is room for a united approach that will ensure a non-contested plebiscite, putting him in direct odds with his boss, President Uhuru Kenyatta.
We have taken the position that there is room for us to improve this document further. And we have stated categorically and respectfully that it is never too late to do the right thing.
The team also wants the planned 2021 referendum shelved altogether.
Given the foregoing, it is legitimate to question the wisdom of spending 14 billion shillings a year before an election that will cost us another 42 billion going by the 2017 figures of the IEBC, when a referendum could be conducted as the 7th ballot in a general election at a virtually no cost.
So, where does the Deputy President stand in the event his quest for consensus fails? Will he support or go against referendum push?
You know me, normally I take positions and I'm very clear about. But you see, I am Deputy President today, and I have the interests of every Kenyan. There are people who support us, and they want a real choice to express themselves.
Suspense and anxiety remains as the DP remains non-committal on where he stands. Finally, Deputy President William Ruto breaks his silence as the signature collection gains momentum, of course stating his position categorically that with his supporters, they are rooting for the proposal by Ndaragwa Member of Parliament Jeremiah Kioni's bill that calls for a multiple referendum question, which basically says they are opposed to the current Constitution Amendment Bill 2020 as it is. How far will they go with their quest? Duncan Hemba, KTN News, Karen.
So let's hear your thoughts on this. And we're asking you in our Big Q tonight, should the referendum be held alongside the 2022 general election? Should the referendum be held alongside the 2022 general election? One of the key suggestions or demands by Deputy President William Ruto today. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Text us on 2215, tweet us at Akisawandera, at KTN News KE. The hashtag to use is KTN Prime. I'll be sampling a number of your views during the broadcast. Now, Deputy President William